Hi, and welcome to your 10-minute flow class. In this one, we'll be focusing on a lot of lunges. So we'll be working on hip flexors as well as quads in this video, which will be amazing because we are notoriously tight through here, so you'll love it. All right, so I invite you to find a comfortable way to sit. Bring your hands together at your heart. Take a moment to close your eyes. We'll just have a quick centering here. And I invite you to, as you bow your head, guide your breath right down into your belly. And let yourself arrive more fully into this moment through each breath. Let go of your day. Let go of your thoughts. Let go of anything that's holding on, and imagine that you can blow it out with your exhales. And allowing each inhale to bring you more fully into your body, into your breath, and into this moment. Now I'll invite you to set your intention for whatever is most important to you right now. And now we will begin with an Om. So I invite you to breathe in fully. Exhale. Inhale. Om. Release your hands, open your eyes, and let's begin. So you can move your pillow off to the side or your cushion. You may want it for some of the lunges, so keep it close. We're going to start off in downward dog. So you'll place your hands underneath your shoulders. Walk your knees back just behind your sit bones, and then lift your hips up into your first downward dog. Feet are hip width apart. Give yourself a nice big stretch through your arms, grounding through your index knuckles, thumb knuckles, and inner wrists. Good. Now on your next inhale, I invite you to rock forward, coming into your plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale into upward facing dog, hug your shins in, and exhale back into downward dog. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Last one. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward dog. And then exhale back, downward dog. Raise your right leg up. Flex your foot, spread your toes. And then on your next exhale, hug your knee into your nose and step your foot through. So you're going to take your foot right between your hands and drop to your back knee. Make sure you've got a long stride between your feet. And we'll start by rolling your shoulders back and sinking your hips as low as they'll go. Now I'm going to invite you to pick up your back knee just 1 inch, so it's not a lot. And now you're going to push out through your heel. So this is going to access your hip flexor. The aim is not to straighten the back leg, don't worry about it. You want to keep your hips low and push through your heel. Now pick up your toes on your front foot. Broaden your collarbones. See if you can make your face friendly. Stay with your breath. Long exhales. Keep pushing through your heel. You're doing awesome. Last few breaths to your hips. Lower if you can do it. Good job. Now drop your back knee to the floor. Pivot your front foot out 45 degrees. Now if you can, so you'll start by letting your knee drop out to the side. And if you can, you're going to grab your back foot with your right hand. So the trick here is to bring your hips back first, grab your foot, and now I'm going to invite you to kick your foot away from you as you sink your hips. You'll take your gaze over your right shoulder. This will deepen the stretch in your hip flexor. And then with each exhale, see if you can surrender your hips towards the floor as you look over your right shoulder. Spread your toes on your lifted foot behind you. Good. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, I invite you to come forward. Take your hands to the floor, step back, either downward dog or you can lower through chaturanga. I'm going to lower through chaturanga, but we'll meet in downward dog together. And then other side. So I invite you to raise your left leg up now behind you. Exhale your knee to your nose and step your foot through. So again, you're going to drop down onto your back knee. Make sure you've got a long stride between your feet. Roll your shoulders back. And then I invite you to pick up your back knee just 1 inch. So not a big movement. And then push out through your heel. Pick up your toes on your front foot. Roll your shoulders back. And keep sinking through your hips. Nice big breaths. You are doing so good. You're doing so good. And you might have some shaking. I've got some shaking happening. In yoga, we call that Angamajayatva. That's the Sanskrit term. And it literally means shaking of the limbs. So you aren't the first one to shake. So good news. And then drop your back knee to the floor. Pivot your front foot out 45 degrees. Drop your hips. Now, you can grab a hold of your back foot again. Or you can stay where you are. And then I'll invite you to take your hips forward as you kick your back foot behind you. And you'll keep shifting the weight a little bit to your left. Roll your left shoulder back. Smile. It's strong, but it's good. Good job. Last few breaths here. And then I'll invite you to release. Step back, either downward dog or chaturanga. So I'm going to take the chaturanga. Inhale. And exhale back. Good. Now I invite you to drop down onto your hands and knees. We'll come into reclined hero's pose. So in this posture here, as long as it's okay on your knees, you're going to sit down into the bowl of your feet. So your feet kind of make this little bowl, and you'll tuck your bum right into there. If that's not going to work for your knees, bring cushions or bolster underneath your hips. Your hips do not have to be on your feet. Your hips can be way up here. You'll still get a stretch. Most important thing is that your knees feel safe, okay? And you can also skip this altogether if your knees are cranky. Now you're going to try and tuck your tailbone under towards your knees in whatever variation you took, and then lean back. So rather than ribs sticking out, you're going to pull them down towards the back of your body, and you might come down onto your elbows, and some of you might come all the way onto the floor. Now in any variation, you're going to really try and tuck your tailbone under, almost scooping it up, and that's what's going to help you get into the hip flexors and quads. And also ribs staying down, really pull them in. And we won't be here long, just a couple of breaths. Good, now come up as straight as you can. I'm grabbing my shins, pressing into my elbows and coming up. Come into a quick child's pose just to turn those quads off. And now, I'll invite you to come back to seated to end our practice. So from here, I'll invite you to just let your hands rest onto your legs. Close your eyes. And take 3 cleansing breaths, inhaling and exhaling fully through your nose. Noticing the sensations of your body after your practice. Perhaps noticing that you feel more energized and awake. I know I do. And then joining your hands together into prayer and bowing your head. And I invite you to bow here to the goodness within you, and also to that part of you that made this a priority for you today. It's so easy to get lost into taking care of others. And I want to acknowledge you, and for you to acknowledge yourself for taking care of you, the most important person in your life. Whether you want to hear it or not, nothing exists without you. So just take it in. It's okay. You are important. You matter. You count. Thanks so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.